Hey, this is Dylan Stafford, your UCLA Anderson Assistant Dean and the host of Drive Time. Why should you listen to this newest episode of Drive Time, our 2011 Alumni Reunion Special? Here's why: laughter, friendship, families, and career wows. We have never had an episode with this many laughs per minute. You are going to love meeting Belinda, Corey, John, and Mark just as much as I have loved watching them during FEMBA and then watching their careers and their lives grow in the 10 years after. We are recording this right before Alumni Weekend 2021. I have known these four friends since back in the day when we used to run the All Anderson Commercial Challenge. We did this for about 4 years, and these guys won the first two. They were the grand prize winners in 2010, 2011. We added their videos to the end of this, so there's bonus material at the end of this episode. And as you will see, these guys are creative, they are friends, they are funny, and out in the real world in the 10 years since graduation, they're making big stuff happen. So here's who you're going to get to meet. Top left, Belinda Cheng Louie, principal event producer for Booked Events in Newport Beach. Belinda spent 4 years in Taiwan as a pop star, literally. She was a pop star in Taiwan for 4 years. She came back to America, went to UCLA, earned her undergraduate degrees in both psychology and linguistics. She launched a career in event management. Then she was with Disney Interactive when she came to FEMBA. She got super involved in FEMBA Council. She didn't want to, but she did. Became a social rep and then up the chain of contributing as a leader in FEMBA Council. She's got a great photo of Dean Frasius and his lovely wife, Grace, during the FEMBA ball during their last year at FEMBA. After UCLA, to balance her career, her passion, and her growing family, she has 2 wonderful children, she took the leap into business ownership with the launching of Booked Events in Newport Beach. All that, and Belinda is one of the funniest people I've ever hosted. Next, with the sunglasses and the great hair, that's taken during his sabbatical. You would never know this guy is a heavy hitter in his career because that's a family picture from sabbatical. Corey Berza, head of employee experience at Houlihan and Lokey, a leading global investment bank. Corey joins the Zoom from Bainbridge Island, Washington. He was with Houlihan and Lokey during FEMBA, and in the 10 years since, his corporate trajectory has skyrocketed. He tells about transitioning out of financial advisory into marketing, kind of first couple of years after FEMBA. Then he used the confidence of his MBA to really step into opportunities as they arose, serving first as an interim chief marketing officer, which then led to the role of chief administrative officer for corporate finance for all of Europe. He got to take his family to Europe for several years. He then took an incredible sabbatical with his family, pursuing his passion for photography before stepping into his new role, his current role, head of employee experience. Corey's story is inspiring. Bottom left, John Scherger, OEM program director for JD Power. John is neighbors in Newport Coast with Belinda. Originally from the Midwest, he tells his story of coming to California with Toyota to pursue his passion to work in the automotive industry, which is his family tradition and his family. After FEMBA, he navigated Toyota's headquarter departure to Texas. He navigated that and created a next chapter for himself with JD Power, where he is now. John's also growing his family. Perhaps John's 2 greatest accomplishments. One, when Belinda was just getting started with Booked Events, he sent her her first real corporate client, helping her land a gig with Scion. And then 2, even bigger, really bigger, John met his wife Lusana during FEMBA, and he tells the funny story of how they got to know each other and then ultimately, become husband and wife. FEMBA is not a dating service, but if you're dating, it's always good to go where the fish are. And lastly, the ringleader, the one, the only, the Mark Harper, president of We Are the Mighty, a social profit nonprofit startup that supports veterans. It's a military affinity group. Mark is the ringleader of Exploding Head Productions, and he tells his amazing journey from, in his words, flunking the GMAT to crashing my office to make his case for FEMBA to ultimately coming here and just being one of our many, many stars. He's a successful serial entrepreneur. He tells his experience with Odyssey, $1,000 headphones that were the product of the year by Gizmodo back in 2011, after they got picked up by Justin Timberlake, Kanye West, Macklemore and Lewis, and more. This all happened during Professor Derek Alderton's entrepreneurship class, where Mark now regularly comes back as a guest lecturer. He is the president of We Are the Mighty, and that's the part of Mark's story that always inspires me the most. He is so creative, and he's put his money and his mouth where his heart is. He is out there on the court every day helping to save the lives of veterans, because if you don't know, there are some veterans for whom the mental health outcomes are not really good. And he is doing something about that. He is on the court making the world a better place every day, as is Corey, as is Belinda, as is John. So most laughs per minute ever, any drive time ever. You got to listen to this. It's long and it's worth it. So carve out some time when you need some inspiration. You want to really see what happens in the 10 years after graduation, and you want to inspire yourself, and you want to get to meet these members of your alumni network. Thanks for listening. We're always happy to share these stories with you.